What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Stone Mando coming back at you with the third brand new Black Series figure review for this week. We just did the Commando Droid, we also did Commander Bakar, and now we are taking a look at Jedi Master Kelnacca from the Acolyte. This is a pretty cool figure, man. I gotta admit, I think everybody has always thought the idea of a Wookiee Jedi ever since. I mean, even before Gungi, but especially since Gungi was in Bad Batch and Clone Wars. Very, very cool. Just the idea of a Wookiee Jedi is just so badass. But as you can see, he is the 9th figure in the Acolyte subline, which is probably the last one we're going to be getting. Well, there is some rumors that we might still be getting the Stranger or Quamir from the Acolyte, so we may be getting 10 figures in this, so we'll just have to see. But other than that, man, this looks like a really good figure. Whether or not this is worth a deluxe, this is a deluxe price. You can see they just kind of, this is definitely an oversized box. They probably could have put him in a standard box. He's got a little bit of a longer lightsaber, and they kind of spread his arms out. It is cool that they threw in the soft goods robe with this, and a lot of this figure is actually brand new. We thought that they were going to go with the black chrysanthemum reuse, but this figure is majority reuse. I believe the feet and maybe the hands, or maybe just the feet, are reused from black chrysanthemum. Everything else is brand new. So that is something to take in consideration when you want to think about like a deluxe or something like that. And Wookiees are a slightly bigger species. We're all aware of that. So just keep that in mind, that this is a larger figure and it's a brand new figure. That brand new sculpt, larger size. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to have him, though. I think everybody was pretty stoked when they seen that he was pipelined, and he was probably one of the coolest parts. Not the coolest part, but definitely one of the coolest components of the Acolyte. There were some meh moments, and then there was also some very cool, memorable moments as well. So let me quit flapping my gums. Let's get this thing open and take a closer look at it. And here's the one and only accessory that comes with Kelnacca. This is his lightsaber, and you can see he got a nice kind of like bright Jolly Rancher green color here. Really catches the light very nicely. And you can see here the hilt has also got some pretty nice. I like how it's got the little gap in there where you can see not the power cell, but the part of the blade. It's exactly how it was. Looks pretty accurate to my mind's memory of his saber. Got some nice, like, kind of like almost like a rose gold, like bronze with the regular gold. So that's pretty cool. And here's our first look at Kelnacca out of the box. And I gotta say, I know the face is not totally accurate to what we see in the show. His eyebrows are a little bit more bushy and noticeable in the show, and it kind of like, yeah, I don't know. I still think it's a really fun figure, and just like messing around with it for a second, I didn't do a whole lot, but just checking it out real quick. This is a really cool looking figure, I gotta admit. But he, like I said, he does come with his Jedi robe, as you can see. It is sewed down here in the back, but we'll just go ahead and take this off of him. I like to do it this way, just pull his arms back and sleeves come right off. And here is Kelnacca without the robes, which is probably how I'm going to display him, just like this. And this is cool, man. It's nice to see a brand new Wookiee body in the line that's not just reuse. He's got his shaved head with the tattoos, very Viking looking in my opinion. He got some nice beads in his hair here. Very, very cool. But let's go ahead and start on and get on into the articulation. We'll just start from the head down. You can see here with the way that his hair is, he's got this beautiful, majestic mane here. Makes me miss when I had long hair in my younger years. But I can't wait to show this sculpt. This is good. They got some really cool stuff going on here. But yeah, getting to the articulation, just due to his hair and like, you're not gonna get any head articulation. You can see that right now. You know, there's a little bit of back and forth, but not a whole lot. You know, but arms, full T position, no problem. 360-degree range of motion. There is butterfly joints in here as well. Look at that huge deep cut in the elbow right here. Super deep cut. You can get well below 90 here, like a 45-degree angle out of the elbow. That's crazy cool for a Wookiee. That is awesome. There is ball jointed wrists in here. Obviously with the hair kind of like covering up the skull, it doesn't really stay where you want it to. It kind of like falls back, but it's still a cool addition to have for sure. There is basically like a diaphragm or a waist swivel. There's a little bit of crunch back and forth, not a whole lot. A little bit of side to side. It's mostly just a twist. And then with these cuts in or not pleats, but with the cuts here in his skirt, you can get a decent, not a full split, but a decent range of motion. Nice wide. He can kick out in front of him. Pretty decent. He's also got a tiny. No, he's actually got a lot of kickback. That's pretty nice, actually. And no thigh swivel, so that's a little bit of a bummer. But you do get that Dumbo hinge in there. You can get, actually, it's not really a whole lot either. So that sucks. I'm a fan of thigh swivel. I don't see why you would take articulation away from an action figure. I enjoy it, but that being said, it doesn't ruin it for me. So it just is what it is. There's also a deep cut single hinge knee, and you got swivel at the knee as well. And then the feet, you can't really go down. You're not going to get a whole lot of range of motion out of the feet. It's about as all you're going to get. And there's also a rocker. Again, you're not going to get a whole lot just due to the sculpt wanting to bunch up against the side of the ankle and the feet here. So, and then just scooting back here, let's take a little gander here, because there's some really nice sculpting going on in this figure. So you can see here the face sculpt doesn't quite look like Kelnacca that we see in the show, but it still looks really badass in my opinion. It's just nice to see a new Wookiee body. But again, you can see these nice beads in his hair. Look at the tats. Love that, man. Been trying to convince my wife to let me get my head tattooed for years now, ever since I shaved my head. Got the nice bun up here, or actually for a man it would be a woman it's called a bun. For a man it's actually traditionally called a knot. Actually, when males put their hair like that, it's called a knot, not a bun. I'm just kidding. But yeah, there's some really, look at the grading going from the light brown to this darker brown. That's really nice. Again, just a lot of beautiful sculpting here, dude. I love the blue ink on the side of the head. That's really badass. Very Viking-ish looking, like a Viking Wookiee. And just like on all the other Acolyte figures, there's some really nice ornate sculpting and just beautiful paintwork here. Super clean silver and gold. Even some more silver going towards the back. There's even a pouch back here. Very, very nice. There's some little hits of paint right here. Don't know why they couldn't hit that little button right there. They hit these three and then skipped that. A little strange, but that's just me nitpicking. Here's a little peg hole for lightsaber storage, as you can see. And then getting down to the legs, you can see as well. Just some immaculate sculpting. This is a lot of sculpt work going on here, you know. So I can see why they would charge. Again, look at the gradient going from that dark brown to that more chocolate brown. Very, very cool. So I know it's hard for people to wrap their minds around, but I can see how they would classify this as a deluxe figure. This is a pretty hefty boy. And look at all the hair, man. That's a lot of sculpting on here, dude. You know, it's brand new head to toe. It's a decent sized figure. I think he looks really cool, and I'm excited to have him. And I enjoyed Acolyte. It had its moments that weren't that great, but it also had some really badass moments as well. And here's Black Chris Hansen. This figure came out in 2023, and he was actually my number 3 pick of 2023. I love this figure. A lot of cool paint, very awesome sculpting, lots of awesome sculpting on this figure. But just getting a look here, you can see on his legs it is totally different. Even Kelnacca, he's got a little bit thicker legs than Chris Hansen does here. You can see the feet are the same, but the legs are totally different. Look at the cuts of the way that the fur lines up and covers the joints. Totally different. And then getting a look at the arms here. Let's take a look right here. Once again, you can just see these are totally different cuts. See, looking down on the wrist right here, you can see it's totally different, man. So the fact they didn't, we were all speculating we were just going to get reuse out of Chris Hansen, but they gave us a whole new sculpt with Kelnacca here is just really badass. And then here in the back, you can, oh damn it, and then Chris Hansen's blaster just fell out. You can see here in the back we have Chewie, and you can see how these guys scale together. Chewie is definitely the longer, lankier one, of course, especially for a Wookiee. These two are a little more of your average size Wookiees, you would say. But overall, I think they look really cool, and I'm really stoked to see what this is going to do for this, because we do have rumors, and basically we have some leaks and some rumors going on that we're going to be getting a brand new Han Solo and Chewbacca. So OT Han Solo and Chewbacca. So that would be very, very welcomed, I can tell you that much. Got a nice hands behind the back pose here. Typical Jedi, stoic Jedi pose. Imagine a Wookiee coming at you like this. Ain't no motherfucking way, bro. That's kind of cool. Another cool Wookiee pose here. Pretty wide lunge here. He can hold the lightsaber with both hands, no problem. Looks pretty badass. Okay, dude, I don't know what it is. Like, people were not really feeling Black Chrysanthemum in 2023. I mean, don't get me wrong. People weren't like shitting on him, but I feel like he was kind of like underrated. I didn't see a whole lot of people talking about him. I feel like I'm kind of getting the same vibes with Kelnacca here. I feel like this is kind of a sleeper hit, man. Like, I know the articulation is weird with the head because Wookiees just have so much hair and it's hard to get the neck articulation there with the sculpt and yada yada, etc. But I don't know, man. This thing just hits, dude. I love. This is fucking badass. I think this is like this is a figure that I feel like so many people have like thought about in their head, or like a concept of a character, a Wookiee Jedi in the old Republic yellowish robes. Just like, I don't know, man. This figure is like really, really growing on me. The more that I'm sitting here messing with it and posing it, just looking at it, this sculpt is just insane, man. There is so much sculpt work on this figure, and honestly, the paint hits really delivered too. All these gradients from the browns to the light brown, the dark browns to the light browns, all the paint on the beads, the eyes look good, the dark brown on the nose, all the hair, the blue ink on his. This is just a solid looking figure, man. The Acolyte figures, I gotta say, man, feel how you want to about the show. These figures are pieces of art, man. I am just so impressed with all of the Acolyte figures. Here is the rest of the Acolyte wave that I own. I did skip on Fandor. I just didn't find this character very interesting, but he is like $10 or $8 right now. I might pick him up just for custom reasons. But anyways, all these figures, as you can see, just awesome sculpt work on these figures. The texture just delivers. The folds on the clothes, the likenesses are all amazing. They're all covered in paint. Awesome articulation as well. New sculpts head to toe. Just really badass, man. So here is Endara, a very interesting character, as well as Master Soul, probably my favorite character of the series. And here, obviously, is Kelnacca. And here is, I'm blanking on her name right now. Jeki, sorry, Padawan Jeki Lawn. And then here is May. Really awesome figure. Feel all you want to about the character. This outfit is, especially her armor, is very reminiscent to like early, late Byzantine. I probably just butchered that right now. It's based off like super old armor, you know, and it's just the sculpt on all these figures is just really badass, man. I am having so much fun with this figure, man. A lot more than I thought I actually would. But honestly, I was really anticipating this figure even when they pipelined it. And then when it came into my big bad pile of loot, along with the Commander Droid and Bakara, I was super psyched for all three of these. And I did a little poll asking y'all which ones y'all wanted to see first. Y'all did vote. It was all kind of back and forth. Some of them were neck and neck, but it ended up being the Commander Droid won out first, then Bakara, then Kelnacca here. So I do appreciate all of you voting in the polls and voicing your opinion. And yeah, it was really fun to do that. I feel like, you know, interaction with y'all and engagement with y'all, seeing what y'all want to do and how y'all are feeling, what y'all want to see me do first is interesting and cool. And I always want to appeal to y'all as well. And while I'm on the subject of my subscribers and everything like that, I do want y'all to consider looking at my channel membership that I offer. I have 3 different tiers, so if you're in a position to support, consider going to check that out. Not necessary at all, though. Just you commenting, watching, liking, subscribing is plenty enough for me, and I appreciate it so much. So with that being said, thank you for spending a few minutes with me while I've showed you this action figure. Highly recommend picking this thing up, especially if you are a fan of the show Acolyte. I think this is great representation for Kelnacca here. The sculpt is amazing. The paint hits are there. It's a brand new sculpt head to toe. No reuse. It's a Jedi Wookiee, man. You don't get any more badass than that. But I'm going to wrap it up here before I start flapping my gums any longer. Shout out to all my members in Clan Stoned. I appreciate all of you so very much. Your support means very much to me, as well as all of you who just watch, like, comment, and subscribe. But I hope you're having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. May the Force be with you.